Buses are back on the streets in Ohio, carrying both kids going to classes in the public school district on the side of the bus, as well as kids in the district who are going to private or charter schools. By law, districts have to transport the latter group. And that's getting more challenging as taxpayer-paid vouchers have been expanded to any family that wants them. And thousands of families in the Columbus City schools, the state's largest district, are taking advantage of them. The district has to transport 37,000 kids, 9,000 of them in private or charter schools. And they go to 113 Columbus City Schools buildings and up to 167 non-public school buildings. The district has declared 1,380 private and charter students transportation impractical based on one of 6 factors, such as their home's distance from the school or the cost of providing that transportation. On Thursday, Republican Attorney General Dave Yost filed a lawsuit in the Ohio Supreme Court against the district after issuing an earlier warning that it must resume busing these students or it will be breaking the law.
We've got kids who are having their plans disrupted. The solution of, well, just come back to Columbus City Schools because, we're great. The parents have already made a decision that they want to avail themselves of one of the other options that Ohio law allows. And this kind of strong-arm tactic will not stand.
But this battle showcases a problem that's been going on in districts around the country for the last 4 years and is getting more challenging in Ohio as families use vouchers. It's a shortage of school bus drivers, like Ben Grace, who's been driving a bus in Columbus for 23 years.
It is a very rewarding career. I love the schedule, Monday through Friday. I don't have to work any weekends, so that's a big plus.
Anita Rahman also loves the schedule and how the job changes daily.
Every day is different. Every day is different. I mean, we've got an office with a view, guaranteed office with a view. Who can beat that? And the kids every day is just so much fun. Like, you don't know what's going to come out of these kids' mouth. And, it's like a little comedy show with the kids. So it's fun. And you'll never be bored. I promise. You'll never be bored working this job.
Rahman and Grace also train bus drivers, but not as many as the district needs. The pandemic, retirements, and competition from trucking companies and delivery services have shrunk the number of drivers who want to take on the task of getting dozens of kids to school every day. Before COVID, there were 760 bus drivers for Columbus City Schools. As of last week, there are 426. And more families going to non-public schools adds to the workload.
We look at what areas we can offset the driver shortages with, and we develop our routes based on the staffing that we have available. And then we look at the resources that we have through the legislature and things of that nature, and the tools and the rules and the guidelines in Ohio Revised Code that give us ways to combat the shortage of drivers.
For instance, they make sure all buses are full, sometimes with one bus doing 2 routes, which makes for long rides for some kids. And they've had to make some tough calls under state law.
We looked at the ineligibility, and that falls under 332701, where it deems that if a charter non-public school is more than 30 minutes by direct travel from the school of assignment for that public school. And we had to start using those as part of our tools to efficiently route for the students that we are 100% obligated to provide transportation for.
That means kids within a 2-mile radius of their schools, public, chartered, or private, are not offered transportation. And some charter and private school parents are getting money to help get their kids to school.
It starts out at, I believe it's about $551 or $52, and the maximum amount is about $1,121 or so.
But some families say they count on the bus because they can't take their kids, or their kids don't feel safe riding public transit.
It really is happening all over the state. Every school district is taking a different approach to this. Some districts are taking all of their high school students and putting them on mass transit, which relieves a big burden. And many school districts that I've worked with are changing bell schedules to increase route time between schools.
Doug Palmer is the senior transportation consultant for the Ohio School Boards Association.
We're operating in an environment now where schools open up often. Many schools, there are districts that have 2 or 3 times as many non-public buildings to service now than they did 10 or 12 or 15 years ago. So all of this has an impact on how much a bus can do.
Palmer and Stufflebean say it's time for a holistic approach to the driver shortage, bringing in districts, private and charter schools, and lawmakers who can control the money that comes to schools.
And I really think that collaboration between non-public and public schools really has to be at the forefront of our thinking. We have to think about this differently. We want children on buses. We don't want to eliminate bus rides for children. It's the safest way to get to school.
Back on the bus, Anita Rahman is happy to recommend her career choice.
Well, here you're actually being part of the community and you're helping a child get their education. Some children may not have a ride to school at all. And so I think it's very important to make sure that you can give back and help a kid in any way that you can.
A survey of districts done for the Ohio School Boards Association revealed around 7% report being fully staffed with an adequate number of substitute drivers. Nearly a third of districts need subs and extra trips to transport all students. In about 13% of districts, office staff and mechanics are driving regular routes. And about 9% of districts say no solution to the bus driver shortage is working.